how the dinner table was really important. We didn't have home delivery of mail. The whole town shut down at noon. And in fact, they blew the noon whistle. And the stores were closed, and all the men would go to the post office, pick up the mail, and go home. And while we sat down to dinner at lunchtime, that's when we had our main meal, was at noontime. We had an hour from school for lunch. And I remember when Bud was on his mission. Dad would bring the mail home, and we'd sit down to dinner. And Mom would read Bud's letters that came from his mission. And that was eating and listening to Mom read letters. Very important at the dinner table. I remember Bud, who I didn't know that he even knew what a girl was. I don't think he ever dated before he went on his mission. And I remember one letter he wrote about the Peterson family, and the next letter that came, he said something about a Peterson girl, and I remember Dad saying, well, I guess that's who Bud's going to marry. And just because he mentioned a girl twice. And it was who Bud married. We heard about Marylin after Bud came home from his mission. Marylin was going to come to Fairfield to visit. Now, Marylin, when she first met Bud, was only 16. And I think that she had just barely turned 18 when she came to Fairfield to meet Bud's family.
At the end of his mission?
After his mission. He had come home in March.
How's that work on the age difference?
Well, it was a 2.5-year mission.
Oh, he met her on mission.
Yes, when he first went to Minneapolis.
Sorry, forgot about that.
And by the end of his mission, she just barely turned 18. And in fact, Bud's mission president released him 2 weeks early and told him to go out and do something about that Peterson girl. And he did. He didn't ask her to marry him, but they did ride, and he did invite her out to meet the family. And it was when she was out visiting us that he proposed to her. But Marylin had never been out of the state before. She was one of these cute, naive, been very protected by her mother. She literally didn't know how to boil water. Her mother did everything. She told us once that she used to beg her mother to do chores like her girlfriends had. But it's just a vivacious, perky, cute, wonderful personality. A little bit what some people will call an airhead, which is not a derogatory term, really. Just naive and just cute, and evidently she was scared stiff at the idea. She thought that she was being too forward to go way out west. She had to go on the train, and she arrived on a Sunday afternoon, and Bud went in the family car to Shoshone, which was about 45 miles from Fairfield, to pick her up at the train station. And it was a Sunday afternoon, and evidently the train was late, and here's this little frightened girl who is scared to death. Her mother literally forced her on the train. You've got to go visit them, and she just was scared stiff. And Bud, on the way back to Fairfield, fed her all these stories about Mom and Dad, warning her about what they were like. And he was telling her about Dad, and if there's one thing that you should never do with Father is keep him waiting for a meal. Now Bud knew the train was late. He knew dinner was going to be late, and was letting her know that you just did not make him wait for his meal. And Mother, whoa, head for the hills if she ever looks askance at you, because whoa, what a first. And she was literally trembling by the time she got home to our place. And of course we were all very excited, especially Darlene and I. I think I must have been about 13 and Darlene 11, something like that at the time. And we could hardly wait to meet Bud's girlfriend. She was so cute in the pictures, and we're all standing outside, and the car drives up, and evidently it was very warm, and the windows were down in the car, and Marylin didn't see Dad come around to the passenger side, and Dad didn't know what Bud was feeding her. He stuck his head in the window and said, "It's about time you got here, young lady. We've been waiting dinner for you." And he says, Marylin literally jumped into Bud's lap across and he didn't know why she was acted like a frightened deer. But then she told us later, says, and I got out of the car and I started to walk around it to the house, and Mother was there, and she says, and your mom just simply opened her arms, and I went into them, and I was at home. But that dang Bud, he knew. But that's the kind of personality Bud has. He likes to pull good ones on you.